Kids, good morning to all. I hope you all are doing great, staying fit and playing many games at your home that you should play indoor in these days, right? So let us know more about the games, right? So today's we are going to learn chapter 21, Kho, right? If you heard this name, what you'll remember? The games, right? Kho, right? So that only we are going to learn. Okay, this is our first session where we know about the game, right? Which game? Kho, right? So we play, as you know in previous class, about the games, right? So the games where we need for our body, right? It's an exercise, right? So when we play, the blood circulation will be easy, right? So you should play more games. You will be more strong, right? And you feel little hungry after playing, right? So in the game, right? So they have diversified two, right? So one is indoor and another one is outdoor game. Indoor game where we playing inside our home, right? So what is the outdoor game? Where we play outside, right? Indoor like snake and ladder where we can sit inside and we play these games. The outdoor like cricket and all, we can't play this inside. So we should play these games outside only, right? So it diversifies into two groups, right? So one is indoor games and one more is outdoor game, right? So here we'll learn more about these games, right? So here you have learned about indoor games and outdoor games in the previous classes, right? So we know what is indoor game and the outdoor game, right? So here you might have played many games under the guidance of your teacher in the school, right? You may have played many games, right? You know how to play the game, right? But you don't know the rules, right? So every game has their own rule, right? When you're playing snake and ladder, you should start with what? One, right? So when you got caught by snake, you should come down. When there is a ladder, you can climb up, right? So these are the some what rules that we should follow, right? So here answer the following and know which games you are familiar with, right? So we played many games, but some we know the names, some we don't, right? So here a game which is played using tamarind seeds. So with the tamarind seeds we play a game. So can you tell me the name? It's a Chowka-Bara. Excuse me. So what? Chowka-Bara, right? So we play this game with the tamarind seeds. We use dice, pawns, right? So before that there is nothing. These are not available. So they use what? Tamarind seeds to play this game. Okay. So here a game which is played with a one leg folded. So what is that? Hopscotch. What? Hopscotch. So this is a game where how to play? There is a boxes, right? Like this. Like this, right? So we play the games, right? So with the folded leg, with the one leg only we play this game, right? So it's called hopscotch. Hop means jumping, right? We are jumping from this to this, right? So here A game which is played with one leg is hopscotch. A game which is played using ball and bat. So everybody know what is this? Cricket, right? A cricket is a game where play with what? Ball and bat. A game which is played using dice is what? Snake and ladder. And one more is what? Snake and ladder and Ludo, right? So we need dice. So it's like that, right? So it's like this, 3, here 2, it's 1, here 6, right? So like this, a dice. A game which is played using cowrie shells, right? So you may have played this game, right? So it's called cowrie only. So we used to tell kavadi, right? So it's like a shell, right? So if you see, it's like this, right? So the shape of the cowrie is like this, right? So you have seen like this, right? So it's called cowrie only. A game which is played in water. What we say? Surfing. Surfing. A game which is played in a group, where these some games where we can play alone, right? So we don't need many people to play the game, but here we play in a group, right? Cricket, right? So we'll play cricket, volleyball. You all need group. Kho-kho, right? So even for the kho-kho also you need group. Without that we can't play these games. A game which is played using a ball with the hands, with a ball and hands. It's catch or a what? Volleyball. Or a basketball. Volleyball, right? There is a net between these two people, where a player who played with the ball, he kicked the ball, right, towards the other person. A special game of your district. So there is every district has particular play where they are famous in that, right? So here in our side we can say wrestling or a kabaddi, right? Kabaddi or wrestling means kusti, right? So these are the quite famous in our side. So here a game that you have seen in a fair means what? Jatre, right? So we see many things, right? Giant wheel, gun shoot, right? So there is a balloons. So here you have to shoot, right? And the ring. So they have put many things where you have to ring for the particular thing. If we put, then we'll get that item, right? So whatever the thing we'll get from that. Okay, now see the next, the names of some games and the particular material used in those games are given here. Match them. Okay, so what you need for hockey? You need hockey stick and the ball. For the cricket, what you need? You need bat, ball and the stump. Badminton, you need bat and cock, right? So for archery, what you want? You need what? Archery only, right? So you will say billu bana, right? So here carom, you need coins, right? So then board. For the chess, you need these coins and the board. Okay, so you have to match with the correct material. Okay, so where we used when we are playing the games. Okay, now see the next one. Do you know these sports person? Right, so we know many sports person, right? So if we watch cricket, so we'll watch our we support our favorite what players, right? So here we'll see some of the sports person, right? So here see the first one. Who's that? Rahul Dravid. So for what he is famous for? Cricket, right? So here Prakash Padukone, he is the badminton. He play badminton. Okay. Malati Holla, so she is a athletic, right? She is the handicap, but she is the what? She play athletic so well, right? So she is very inspiring lady, right? So here Dhanraj Pillai, so he is a hockey player, right? So here Sania Mirza, so she is famous tennis player, right? So here Sachin Tendulkar, so everybody know, right? So everybody know the name Sachin Tendulkar. He is the cricketer, right? So he play cricket. PT Usha, she is the runner, right? So athletic. Abhinav Bindra, who is good in shooting. So shooting means there is a, with the gun they had given what, the in the circle they had given the point. Okay, so in that only they should shoot. Okay, in this particular place only they should shoot. He is the Abhinav Bindra is the one of the best shooter. So Vishwanath Anand, so he is a chess player. Mamata Pujari, so she is the Kabaddi player, right? So she is the captain of Kabaddi, right? So here Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar are the cricketer. They play cricket. So here Prakash Padukone badminton, PT Usha athletic, Malati Mohalla is also athletic, Abhinav Bindra shooter. So Dhanraj Pillai is a hockey player. Vishwanath Anand is chess player. Sania Mirza is tennis player, and Mamata Pujari is Kabaddi player, right? So we know not only these, we know many players, right? So like now recently we know Virat Kohli, right? So he is the best cricketer now. Everybody know the name, right? So these are the playing players. Write any 4 outdoor games that you play with your friends in the school, right? So we play many games, right? We play Kho-Kho, we play Kabaddi, we play badminton, right? We play volleyball, we play football, basketball, right? So there are many games where we play outdoor, means where we play outside of the school, right? Student of the right? So this we know about what the games, right? Sports. Now we learn about what? Kho-Kho. Okay, so here student of 4th standard were brimming with the joy. They are brimming means they are very enthusiastic, they are very happy. Why? Because they were waiting for the teacher. Why they are waiting for the teacher? The teacher told them that she would take them to the ground to play Kho-Kho. So they are eagerly waiting for the teacher to come and take them to the ground where they are playing Kho-Kho. The teacher took them to the field and showed the Kho-Kho field. So here after the teacher come, they took all the kids to the ground and the teacher is showing how the Kho-Kho field is look. See, can you see the Kho-Kho field here? How it does it looking? Right? So it's a Kho-Kho field. The children went round the Kho-Kho field. After they came back, the teacher asked these questions. So see the Kho-Kho field given in the picture and write the answer to the questions asked by the teacher. Okay, so after they are played that game, so teacher is asking some question about the Kho-Kho, right? So here let's see what is the shape of Kho-Kho field, right? So when you see this Kho-Kho field, how does it look? How it's looking? Can you tell me? How does it looking? It's looking rectangle, right? So you know the shapes, right? So here how does it look? Rectangle. So the children have observed how they have played game now, but they are watching. They are observe how the Kho-Kho field. So it's a rectangle, right? So rectangle. How many poles are there in the Kho-Kho field? So if you see, there is 2, 1 and here 1 more, right? There is 2 poles, right? How many poles? There are 2 poles. How many square are there between 2 poles? So if you see how many square, so here we should count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? There are 8 squares between 2 poles. Like I'll just draw here. Okay, so this is field. It is rectangular, right? It has 2 poles. How many poles are there? There are 2 poles in the rectangular, right? So now see how many squares, right? So if you see, there are 8 squares, right? We have to draw how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'll just 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So there are 8 squares. 8 squares. Now see how many lines have been drawn between the poles, right? So here they have made 2 poles, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and here to draw one more here. There are 16. Okay, so here 8 squares, they're double, right? Lines are double. So here 16 lines are there. Okay, now see the next one. Okay, so teacher formed 2 teams of the member each. So one is running team and the other is chasing or touching team, right? So there is 2 teams where there are around 8 people, 8 kids should sit. Okay, so the rest one should chase the other one here. Okay, so here teacher explained to them the rules of the games and how it has to be played. So here teacher have explained how to play the games, right? So here know this rules, right? Kho-Kho match has 2 innings, right? So how to play the games? So first rule, that Kho-Kho have to play 2 innings, right? So each inning has running and touching round, right? So first, like there is 2 groups. One first has to sit and one who has to chase. Like opposite, the other team, they will sit, then other team will chase the second group. Okay, it's like a vice versa, right? So when you have first group, they both get chances to sit and they both get a chances to chase the other group. Okay, so each round will be of 7 minutes duration, right? So it's like a 7-minute duration where the other person has to chase and catch the second group player. Okay, a Kho-Kho team consists of 12 players. Okay, so there are how many players in this game? 12 players. Okay, out of them 9 are players. Okay, and 3 are extra. So here in this there are around 8 will sit. Okay, 1 person will run. Okay, here in this group there is 8 person who will sit. Okay, there are 3 extra players. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, the 1 person who will round from here. Okay, like this he will round, and other person will catch the other player from the other team. Okay, the student began to play with the guidance of the teacher. So she have explained how to play the game. There are around 12 players in this game, right? So each group has 7-minute duration where the 8 players will sit down, 1 player will run, and from the other team the player will chase this player, and 3 are extra player. If there is any injury happened in this game, they can exchange. Okay, so here now see. Okay, see the picture. Okay, now look at the picture and write the way of playing the games, right? So here how many players are sitting inside the Kho-Kho field? So in the 12, so only 8 will sit. How many player will sit in down? There is around 8 players. Okay, so how many players are standing at the poles, right? So one player are, so here one player will stand, right? So here one player will stand near the pole. How are the players sitting in the field? So how is the position, right? So they all sit like this? No, right? So they should sit opposite, right? One person who is facing this side, other will face this side. One this side, other player this side. One player this side, other player this side. Okay, and they should start a game from here, right? So because the first person facing this side, so he should start the game this side. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, right? So they should sit in a opposite side. They should not face the same way. They should face opposite side. So one is standing like this, the other should turn this side. Okay, so here how many players are entering the field, right? So there are 3 players. If you observe the picture, there are 3 players who is entering the field, right? So 2 are, one the person who run the who will run, and the other person who chase, right? So one more person who give the tap to the other person, right? So here, so how many group are sitting near the field? How many members does each group have, right? So there are 12 members in each group, right? So there are 2 group, right? There are 2 group. So in each group 12 players, right? So in another group there are 12 players. Okay, so here it's about what? How to play the game, right? So how many members are there in the field, right? So what we learn about today's session were about indoor and outdoor games, about the Kho-Khos, right? So some of the sports person, right? How is the shape of Kho-Kho in a field? It's a rectangular, it has 2 poles, 8 squares and 16 lines. There are around 12 players in each group. There are 2 groups. In one group there is 12 players, right? So where 8 players will sit down, one will stand near the pole, and one person who run, right? And if he suddenly is come to catch, he should give tap to other person where he can stand and move, right? If we catch, then we are out. Okay, that we will learn more for the next session. Okay kids, until then you know more about Kho-Kho. Thank you, have a great day.